they've got to be tough and they've got to be smart, because you look at the ratings are going way down. The stadiums are, I've seen a couple of stadiums over the last few weeks. They are losing. There are a lot of empty seats. I couldn't even believe it.
One thing the president probably feels he's getting good news is, according to a number of polls, the majority of Americans feel that, as the president does, people should stand when they play the national anthem.
Yeah, Pete Hegseth getting an exclusive interview with President Trump. Pete, you were at that event yesterday, spoke to him before he went out on that stage, asked him about everything from tax reform, healthcare, and as you just heard about the NFL, he's got some very strong opinions and words still on that.
Yeah, just a quick question, elicited a lot of enthusiasm from him, as you heard there, as he's quadrupling down in his comments that this is not just about an anthem and players kneeling. This is about our civic life and how fruitful it is, and whether we have a common bond of just standing for the national anthem and loving our country. But as you said, this was right before he gave what could prove to be a historic tax reform speech there in Indiana. We caught him beforehand backstage. And I'll tell you this, I've never seen as much energy surrounding the president. His chief of staff, John Kelly, was there, Gary Cohen, Stephen Miller, they were all there, and there was a lot of excitement and anticipation that this could be the issue that they really are galvanized on. Certainly something this president is enthusiastic about, the tax code, reforming it, cutting taxes as a businessman. We asked him about that, as well as Obamacare and repeal and replace, if that's really dead, if he's willing to work with Democrats. Is he confident in Mitch McConnell? All that, and this is what he had to say. Mr. President, we're here in Indiana. You're going to launch your tax reform plan in front of this crowd. Who is your tax plan intended to help?
Really, the working people. We say the working people, middle class, the people that really haven't been treated right, Pete, and they have been treated right, really for a long time, have not been treated right. Also, it's going to be for businesses where they're going to employ jobs, where they're going to bring in jobs. So it's for jobs. This is a tax plan for jobs and growth for our country. It'll be the largest reduction in terms of dollars of any plan ever in the history of the country, and it's going to be something very special. But it's really for the middle-income people, and it's for the working people, and it's for jobs.
Are there any rates or brackets that are non-negotiable?
Yeah, the 20% is non-negotiable. I wanted to do it at 15%. This is for business. I want to do it at 15%. If you look at China, China's at 15%. Other countries are at higher. I mean, right now we're the highest taxed nation in the world. When I finish the plan, we'll be among the lower taxed, which is very good. I'd like to be the lowest, but you can't be the lowest. There are some that are ridiculous. But I wanted to be at 15. In fact, I was going to start at 15 and maybe negotiate up to 20. But the numbers really work at 20, so we're putting it in at 20, but we're not going to negotiate.
Mr. President, the health care bill this week went down in the Senate. What about this plan makes you feel confident that it won't meet the same fate?
Oh, Pete, the health care bill didn't go down. We have the votes, but reconciliation is a disaster. But as you know, it ends on Friday, so we don't have enough time because we have one senator who's a yes vote, a great person, but he's in the hospital, and he's a yes vote, so we can't do it by Friday. So we have the votes. We will do it sometime at the beginning of the year, but prior to the election in November.
Do you still have confidence in Mitch McConnell?
I do. I mean, look, I've dealt with Mitch for a long time, and I think he has to get rid of the filibuster rule. I think it's just a disaster for the Republican Party because it means you need 60 votes on most pieces of legislation, and you're not going to get it. There are 270 bills right now sitting before the Senate. You're not going to get them approved because you're not going to get 8 Democrats. And they want to keep this horrible filibuster rule, which says basically you need 60. So that means you need 8 Democrats to get something approved, and you're not going to get that. So they have to get rid of the filibuster rule. Otherwise, they're just making a mistake. But no, I have confidence in. Look, I really like all of these people. I think they're terrific people. What I'm going to do is we do have the votes for health care, but the filibuster. You know, if you look at what's going on with respect to timing. We have only until Friday for reconciliation, so we're going into next year. But in the meantime, I'm going to start negotiating with Democrats, and we'll see what happens.
Do you feel like when you start negotiating with Democrats, do you feel like you can trust Chuck Schumer and